Hi, my name's Lisa. This is my little old man dressed in a dog suit, Harvey. And today is the start of July the 1st, and I thought I would introduce you to the theme of the month, which is about expressing yourself. It's such a great time of the year to feel into the energy of expression. I express myself could be your intention for the month or your mantra for the month. What does that mean? If we look at some flowers, each one of them is slightly different. So we have some roses and some other types of blooms here, and each one expresses themselves in their own particular way, with their own color, their own form, and they're all created to express themselves in exactly the way that they are from the tiny little seed when they were planted. Now, we too are born to express ourselves in a particular way. And then sometimes we forget exactly who that is. So today we're going to do a little bit of a freeing breath practice with some movements, and then we'll do some journaling. So I'd like you to get a journal, and if possible, some colored pens as well, so it's not just plain writing. Talking about journaling, one of the best things for me when it comes to journaling is, rather than linear writing, make it a bit more free form. So allow your journaling to have a sense of expression. I'm not sure if it'll come across, but I'll just flick through this, and there's just loads of different ways depending on what I'm feeling. Like sometimes it is a bit more linear, other times I draw some random pictures. So your journal doesn't have to be just black on a white page. It can have more color and more flow to it. So really think about that when you come down to doing your journaling. But let's think about expression as we do some movement. I'm just going to adjust the screen here. So if you come up into standing, you don't actually need any mat for this. This is like a little cleansing practice, clearing out some energy so that we can then do the journaling. So if you have your feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart, and slowly begin to swing from side to side. And as you do this gentle movement, be quite relaxed with it, and you can begin to really feel into the question of, how do I love to express myself? What do I love to do? What makes my heart sing? You can think about these things as you swing your body from side to side. We can do a little breath practice here. It's a cleansing technique, thinking about freeing and releasing any of these little blocks that stop us from sensing into that expression of who we are. So you'll breathe in through your nose one way and out through your mouth the other. And feel as if there's a real emptying out of that kind of energy that stops us from really expressing who we are. So the self-doubt is gone. The worry about what people think is gone. Just starting to really release from these little habitual patterns that keep us held into a sense of non-expression in a way. Okay, so 3 more of those breaths. And last time. Think of that. Then from here, we'll just sweep the arms and circle them. Bend and stretch, and bend and stretch. And again, you can do this breath where you in and out. In. Releasing through the mouth, alkalizing the system, settling the mind. Just 3 more. and swing. And come back to center, interlace your fingers, stretch all the way up, big stretch up. And circle the hands down. Now spin one way. You don't need a mat for this. I could be on my wooden floor or carpet. But in this position, come onto the ball of the back foot and bend both knees. And we're just going to circle the arms around and through. And here there's another clearing with the breath. So we'll inhale as we circle and then release through the mouth as we exhale. The sound is a helpful one. It really cleanses and clears the energy. Think about releasing the clouds from the heart that might obscure the sunlight inside. One more. And then spin the other way. Onto the ball of the back foot, back knee a little bit bent. And there's that circling. And then the adding in of the really see yourself releasing from the little binds in the mind that maybe stop you from wearing the multicolored outfit one day or flowers in your hair or whatever it is that you love to do to express yourself. Last one. Circle back to center. Bend the knees. Sway from side to side. Bring the opposite shoulder down, circle around and up. That's clearing energy here. Other way. Back to center. Coming into your goddess squat. Hands in little chopper hands, stretching them up and back and chopping them down. This is another cleansing technique. It really helps to release any blockages in the system. And we use our sound again. One more. Now stretch it out. Take a breath in. And release. Step the legs together. Give yourself a little wiggly shake. And then get your journal, get your colored pens, and settle yourself down for a spot of journaling. So we can think of this as the journal prompt for the month of July, which is all around I express myself. So opening up your journal to an empty page, getting your colored pens, paints, or pastels. I use these pastels. And you don't need to be an artist. I'm definitely not an artist, but I do like to use color. Now, everything's ready. We're just going to settle in, closing the eyes. And as you start to slowly deepen the breath, feel your root of your seat down on the ground. And begin to slowly deepen the breath. Relaxing your shoulders and your face. Beginning to really feel into this experience of yourself, who you are and how you feel in this moment. Clear your mind, feel yourself emptying your mind of any expectation. And begin to visualize flowers, any flowers at all that come to mind. What kind of colors are coming to mind, whether the petal shapes are rounded or more pointed. And then just choosing one particular flower that really resonates with you and drawing it on your page. And it can be a real simple picture of a flower. Now, as you draw this flower, you're sensing it's blooming to its full potential, gorgeous colors. And you just draw whatever comes to mind. And again, do not judge your artwork, because that is absolutely pointless. You're just allowing your creativity to flow in any way it wants to, and it doesn't matter if it's not this, you know, what people expect art to be. Make it your own colors, your own shape. And you keep it quite simple. Once you've got your flower there, so mine's real simple. I've just got a little purple outline and then an orange inside. So inside the actual petals now, begin to write down things or experiences that make you thrive. Like, I don't know, you might love to walk in nature, and when you do, you just feel this real sense of being connected. So you write down all the things within your beautiful flower that make you feel connected to yourself. Could be as simple as wearing colorful clothes, dancing in the kitchen, having deep, meaningful conversations with others, being quiet, meditating, doing yoga. So you're just writing in every petal the things that make your heart sing. And if you don't have enough petals, you can write all over the page. And once you've written down as many as you can think of, so I've written down 5 different things in each petal. You can then have a look at what you've written and really try and think about if there's anything that ties that all together. So if I were to look at the ones I've chosen, the word that really pops out to me is a sense of freedom. It's this real sense of freedom. So maybe with your words, the word that pops out at you is love or inspiration or whatever it is. So have a look at what you've picked and see, is there a feeling that these invoke? If you're a little bit stuck with that, choose one of them that you've chosen. So for instance, I've done walks in nature. So you can focus on one of them, like I will do with walks in nature, and then think, what is it? How do I feel when I'm doing that? So you start to breathe in that feeling, holding onto your heart with your left hand and breathing in, maybe closing your eyes and breathing in. What is it about that walk in nature, whatever you've chosen, that really lets me feel connected to me, to the essence of me? And see if a little word pops up for you. And if it does, you can then write that word down somewhere else. So I came up with freedom, so I'm just going to write it down on my page. And then have a look at all the ones that you've chosen and try and get a sense of what it gives you. Like you might find, I've got another one. One of my favorite things to do is to lie back and just to look at the sky. I just absolutely love doing that. Watching the clouds scud by, or sometimes seeing a bird fly across. So again, the word that comes up there is freedom for me. So feel into what it is and feel it. Hold your heart and feel, what is it that I'm connecting to there? And then move through each one in the same way. And maybe a different word comes to you. So you write that down in lovely, big, bright letters. And try, if you can, to get 3 different feelings from what you've chosen. So very basically, I've got freedom, connection, and playfulness next to my big flower. And that's my journaling for the day. So, you know, that's the kind of journaling that you could do. And these 3 words you've chosen now, you can use these as your sort of intention for the month of July. You can maybe write them on a little post-it or leave your journal open so it reminds you, and think to yourself every day, I love the feeling of freedom, connection, playfulness. What can I do today that taps into at least one of those things? So I hope you enjoyed that little journaling exercise, that little freeing exercise, food for thought, and continue journaling in this really lovely creative way, and continue to feel in throughout this month what makes you bloom, what makes you thrive, what makes your heart sing. And I invite you every day to do at least one thing that leads you to that feeling. Namaste. Yeah.